Good morning, sixth graders, and welcome to the middle school. Are you guys excited to start out the year? Ooh, I don't know, that sounds like fifth grade clap. Are you guys excited to be sixth graders? That's a little bit better. Well, welcome to the middle school. My name is Mr. Berger, and I'm going to be your principal this year. And as I look around this room, I'm seeing already a lot of familiar faces, both families and students, and that's probably because I may have been your principal when you were at Smith Clove as kindergartners and first graders. So I'm very excited to be working with many of you again. And if you did not go to Smith Clove, and this is the first time that I'm seeing you or meeting you, I'm super excited to be working with you as well, because we're gonna have a great year together. One of the things that I'm most excited about being here at the middle school is I'm starting with you guys. We get to start together here, you guys as sixth graders, me as the principal, and we're gonna work together to have a great year. And I'm really excited about the fact that now that you're older and you're in the middle school, I can have young adult conversations with you because you're no longer younger. We know that you already know how to behave and how to act in school, what the expectations are, and I'm excited to talk to you about those types of things and just to have some young adult type of conversations with you and watch you grow and learn here at the middle school. But I am not alone here. We have a great team that is going to be working with you. We have some of our guidance counselors that we're going to be introducing over there shortly. We have some of our NJHS students who are sitting way back there. They're going to be helping you out in a little bit. At the end of this presentation and the orientation in here, you're going to be able to walk around and walk your schedule. And we have some of our students that are going to be there to help you navigate and get around the building. They have some maps for you just to help you see where your classrooms are going to be. And we also have a great administrative team that I want to introduce you to. So I already introduced myself as Mr. Berger, the principal. We have our administrative team. We have Mrs. Dudgeon, who is our sixth grade assistant principal. You will be seeing her often this year. We have Mr. Sullivan, who is our seventh grade assistant principal. And we have Mrs. Collins, who is our eighth grade assistant principal. We also have a new administrator to our staff this year. We have Mrs. Carr, who Mrs. Carr is our Dean of Students. And a Dean of Students is just like one of the other administrators in the building. They do a lot of the same things that principals do, a lot of the same things that assistant principals do. The big difference is that their number one responsibility is to work with the students. So you're going to be working a lot with Mrs. Carr this year. So we're very happy that she's here. So a couple of things, you can see up here what our vision is here at the middle school, to prepare students to become responsible global citizens. So what does that mean? That means that it's our job to help you get ready to be successful in life. We want to help you starting now in the middle school to do really well in school, to have fun here, to get to be able to do lots of extracurricular activities if that's what you want to do. It's our job to help you be successful so that you're ready in 3 years from now to go to the high school so that you can be successful there and graduate high school and then to go and do whatever you wish, if that's to keep going on to school, if that's to start working, to do different things of the trade. But it's our job to help you be successful so that you can then be successful in society and have a positive impact on society in whatever you do. And that starts with us helping you here at the middle school this year. So that's what that means. And our goals are to have success for all students in a safe and respectful environment and to inspire a passion for learning. One of the things that I will share with you starting here at the middle school this summer is I've got to meet a lot of teachers and staff members and guidance counselors, administrators, all people here at the middle school. There's lots of staff members. And what I can tell you that they all have in common is that they have so much pride for being here in the middle school. They're really proud to be a middle school faculty member because they care about you, they care about the students, and they want you to do well. And with that comes a mutual respect. You have to have respect so that you're able to do well here in school. Respect comes in lots of different ways. We want you to have pride in your building, which means that you need to show respect for your building. that you need to treat it with care, just like you would your own home or some of your favorite belongings that you have at home. Respect means that you need to treat others kindly. You know what respect means, but to treat others with kindness and to be compassionate, to be a good listener. And that doesn't mean just your friends that are sitting around you. That also means your teachers. Anybody who's here to work with you, staff members. It also means your parents too. You have to be respectful to your parents too, because we're all going to work together to make sure that you are successful. So I'm very excited to work with you this year. I'm very excited to be your principal. I'm always going to be available. You'll see me around the hallways and lunch, out at recess. If there's things that I can do to help support you, that's my job, because we want to make sure that you are ready to go on to the high school in 3 years and do great things with the rest of your life. So I welcome you here to the middle school. I'm looking forward to a great year. And with that, I'm going to pass along to Mrs. Collins, who's going to talk to you a little bit about what's different at the middle school in comparison to your elementary years. Thank you.
We're doing a quick mic change. Okay, middle school, welcome. I know some of the students out there that are coming are super excited to be here. They can't wait to be middle school kids and preteens, and it's gonna be great. And then some of you are out there going, send me back, send me back, send me back, send me back. I don't wanna be here, I'm not ready yet. I wanna snuggle up next to mommy and daddy. This isn't happening. It will be okay. It will be okay to you guys, parents too. If this is your oldest and this is your first time through middle school, welcome. They get bigger. My daughter's going into 7th grade. I don't know how that happened. I just had her like 2 years ago. It's amazing how fast they grow up. So what you're probably wondering, students and parents, is how is this year going to be different from past years? Well, we're in a bigger building and we are all together. So we're all starting fresh from all the elementary schools, from other places. If you're new to Monroe-Woodbury, welcome. Everybody starts together. We change classes here. So every 40 minutes, you're going into a classroom with a new teacher. Now you will stay in your house color hallway to make it a little bit easier on you, but your math, science, ELA, or social studies will all be in that same area, but they will be different teachers. And everybody in your house will have the same teachers. So you'll be in a smaller group, either red, blue, yellow, or green. We have bells here and passing time. We have 3 minutes in between classes, and bells ring at the beginning and the end of every class. And we need to be aware of where we are during passing. So if we're going to the bathroom, we're heading to our locker, we need to be in class on time, because the teachers are going to start as soon as that bell rings. You've got lockers here, and everybody is going to be assigned their own locker, and you're going to need to use that locker. That's where your coat's gonna go, that's where your book bag's gonna go, that's where any extra things, your lunch may go. You will need your own lock for that locker, and you will need to practice that combination because you're going to need to open it up. Our 6th grade teachers, our staff is really great at helping you those first few days, but take the time from now until school starts to really practice with that lock so you can get good at it. Grades. You're going to get numerical grades in the middle school. So you're gonna see 83, 87, 72, 96. It's not just A, B, C, it's not just check that it's done, but you're gonna have real grades and progress reports and report cards. And those grades become important when choosing classes later on in middle school, when picking if you wanna go into the accelerated math program or the accelerated science program, or if you wanna apply to get into our junior honor society, those grades become important. So be aware of that now and be watching how you're doing. Lunch. Everybody in the same house eats lunch at the same time. And you get to pick which cafeteria you sit in. They're not assigned by grades. Anybody can sit in any cafeteria, but we do ask that at the end of about the first week, that wherever you have picked to eat is where you stay. And we will do a seating chart in the cafeteria. You can pick where you go, but that's where you're going to stay for the year. and you can eat in any of the cafeterias. Responsibility. You're not in elementary school anymore. You're going to take a little bit of responsibility for yourself, for writing down your homework, for bringing things home to mom and dad, for communicating with your teachers about what your needs are. If you need extra help, then you can go to your teacher and say, hey, I need extra help. If you're having problems with a friend and you need some support, you can go to your guidance counselor and say, hey, can you help me out with this situation? You still have your parents, but you have a whole group of adults now in the middle school that are here to help you. Use us. We want to help you. Reach out to us and tell us what you need. And parents, if your child is that quiet one that is not going to do that, you can reach out to us. And we will have a talk with your child. We will have our guidance counselors pull them in and see what's going on. We are a resource for you too. We love it when the kids come to us first, but if you don't think that's going to happen, then you give us a call. Because we are here to support you. We are here to support your children. We want to make this the best 3 years it can be, and this is just the first step on a long road. All right. I spoke about our great, fabulous guidance staff who are all sitting over here. Heading our guidance staff is Mrs. Hassler. She is our guidance coordinator. She also oversees a lot of our department special ed students, so you might be hearing from her. Or anytime another guidance counselor is busy and Ms. Hassler is free, Ms. Hassler might talk to your child. In our houses, we have Ms. Siegel, our Red House guidance counselor. Our Yellow House guidance counselor, Mrs. Pelson. Our Blue House guidance counselor, Ms. Hawkshurst. Ms. Hawkshurst, stand up so they can see you. Mr. DiGiovanni, our Green House counselor. And finally, for our E&L students, we have Ms. Tick. And now to carry on is Mrs. Dudgeon.
Thanks, Mrs. Collins. I'm so happy to meet sixth graders and their parents today. I don't know if you're aware, but as assistant principals here, we move on with each grade level. So you're kind of stuck with me now, which is going to be a good thing. You'll have me as your sixth grade assistant principal. I'll move with you to seventh grade and then on to eighth grade. So I just got all of the eighth graders pushed onto the high school, and now I've come back down to sixth grade. And that's where I started here. Love having the sixth graders when I was new here. So many things to learn for you and for me, but now I'm an old pro, so if you need anything, you come see me. We're going to talk a little bit about your school day here. As Mrs. Collins said, you are going to be changing classes, which is way different than elementary school where you had the same teacher all day. Here you're going to find that you have a 9-period day, and every single day here at the middle school starts with an advisory period. That advisory period is about 15, 17 minutes long. You're going to meet with an advisor who's going to be the same person for your 3 years here. So they are also another resource for you, and the same students in that class with you throughout the 3 years. That advisory period is where you get yourself together. You're ready for the day. You make sure your supplies are there. Maybe you have to charge your Chromebook a little bit because you forgot. We hope not. But you get yourself ready for the day. You get some information from our morning announcements, and then we begin first period. We have a 9-period day here. You will have 4 core classes: English Language Arts, Math, Social Studies, and Science, somewhere in your schedule. You'll also have PE, and as 6th graders, you'll also have a seminar class. These are on opposite days, not necessarily the same period on opposite days, but you will have a PE and a seminar class. You'll have, of course, the same type of encore classes you had in elementary school: art, health, music, library. Those you will also have quarterly. So one quarter you'll have art, you'll have health maybe the next quarter, library, those are quarterly classes. In 6th grade here, you have STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and math. That's a class that has a little bit of building things and computer coding in it. You'll also have opposite that for half a year, writer's workshop. So you can improve your writing skills, which will help you in every one of the classes that you have. You may have something called Flex in your schedule. Flex is a study hall. It's really a time for you to work to get your assignments completed, maybe finish up some reading you have to do. You are with one of your core teachers for that class, so that's kind of helpful. You can also, sometimes sixth graders go and meet with their other core teachers during that time to get any assistance that they might need. And then in your schedule, you might see you have chorus, band, orchestra, expand, AIS reading, or math, depending on what your individual needs are. Today, when you get your schedule, or you've already received it, when you take a look at your schedule, might not be like your friends. That's okay. Some of your classes will be the same, some of them will not be. And that's because we all have special needs and interests. And that's a great thing about middle school, where you can expand on those things. And of course, lunch, everybody's favorite here at the middle school. Lunch is much better at the middle school. You happy about that? Lunch is much better at the middle school. If you have lunch, we are on this lunch schedule here, if I can get this to change. Mrs. Collins, I need some technology help. You have a snack line here at the middle school. We have 3 hot lunch lines. There are still some lines to get your lunch, but you will have plenty of time. And during that lunch period, you are allowed to go outside and enjoy some recess time with your friends, which is kind of nice. This is our lunch schedule for this year. Greenhouse lunch is pretty early, 10:44. Notice that Yellow House lunch this year is pretty late, almost 1 p.m. What this means for you is you need to not give your parents a hard time. You need to make sure you get up and have breakfast, because you are hungry at 1 p.m. I don't know about you, but I'm hungry at 1 p.m. It is going to be so important that you get up before you get on the bus, or before you leave for school, and eat a good breakfast. It truly is going to set the stage for your day if you're not hungry in class. If you are hungry in class, you cannot concentrate. All you're thinking about is lunch. So make sure that you eat a good lunch. This schedule rotates each year. So if you are Yellow House students, we're the Yellow House students. Next year you might eat fourth period lunch. So you don't have to worry, you're not going to be that late all the time for the next 2 years.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay.
I didn't believe anything.
I'm going to give this back to you anyway, Mrs. Collins.
Opening day, our very first day of school, which is Tuesday, is a little bit different in the morning than the other days. So we do what's called an extended advisory that very first day, which will give the students time to figure out how to read their schedule, figure out where they're going, get their locker assignment. So you're not going to be rushed. Normally advisory is only 17 minutes long. We do a much longer advisory on the first day. But students, this is what you need to know. When you get here on the first day, your bus driver will tell you a slot number. You need to remember that for the next year. So they will say the bus will be in slot 7, the bus will be in slot 20. That's how you know where to go to get your bus at the end of the day. Because out in the front of the building, we have numbers 1 through like 35, 37. And your slot number is where your bus will be. So when they give you your slot number, write it down someplace, put it in your phone, remember it. That's what you're going to need for the end of the day. And if you forget, don't worry, there's going to be plenty of people outside with big lists that can look you up and tell you where to go. But the more people that remember it, the better. So everybody is going to enter the building through the main lobby this year. If you had older children that were here in the past, we used house-colored entrances. We are no longer doing that. We're doing one entry point for everybody. So faculty, staff, students, Parents, if you're coming in for a meeting, everybody enters through the main lobby. That's different from in the past. During that first day and that extended advisory, your students will get a planner that they can use throughout the whole year. They will get a copy of their schedule, so you don't need to print it out and bring it in. We'll give you a fresh copy. Some room numbers may have changed. Some minor tweaks are still going on to schedules. But for the most part, your schedules are pretty good, but you will get a brand new copy on that first day, and you'll get your locker assignment. Your locker will be in your house-colored hallway. It might be around the corner, so red and blue, 6th graders, you have a main hallway, and then you have sides. Your locker might be on those sides. Greenhouse will be in that main hallway, and yellow house will be in that main hallway. So your locker will be in your house hallway. After advisory is over, all students will go to first period. You may have other students in your advisory that are going the same place as you. Your advisor will probably say, who's going to art next? Who's got ELA next? And might start directing you on where to go. At the very end of the day, when the 3 o'clock bell rings, all the students go to their buses. This is when you need to know that slot number. So everybody heads right out of the building, and we can exit through the front main entrance, which is the one you came in, or there's another entrance that we use for the afternoon that's on the side of the building. So you can go out either one of those, and then you can go to your bus slots. That will be the same every day. Yes. The slot numbers are painted on the blacktop in yellow, and they start at 0, that's on the end closest to the high school, and they go across to the 30s that are on the far side of the building, closest to Ninja. Parent portal. The district has been using Parent Portal for information for several years now. So if you've had a child in the elementary schools, you've probably already logged into this to see report cards. This is where you've seen your child's schedule. If you have not accessed Parent Portal yet, we need to get you set up as soon as possible. Our attendance secretary can do that for you. That's Ms. McAteer. We also have somebody in our main office that can do that for you. Please stop by the main office if you have problems with this and you have not been able to access it, because we want to make sure everything's okay. This is where you're going to see schedules. This is where you're going to see attendance. This is where you're going to see report cards and progress reports. Parent Portal has all the information in it. Speaking of attendance, if your child is absent for any reason, you can send them in with a physical absence note, or you can email MS Attend. That MS Attend email address is watched over by 3 different people, so you could be getting an email back from any one of the 3 people. Emails or notes need to include your child's name, the reason for the absence. We cannot accept phone calls, so we can't get a phone call in. We need an email or we need a physical note. Tardies, if your child is late to school for any reason, again, you can send them in with a physical note. They can drop that off at the attendance window when they sign into school. Our attendance window is in the main lobby. It is literally a window in the wall right behind security. If a student comes in late, safety will direct them to sign in at attendance. They'll ask if they have a note. It would be great if they did, because we can handle that all at the same time. And then they will give them a pass to report to class late. And they'll tell them whatever period we may be in at the time. If you forget to send them in with a note, that's okay. You can email MS Attend, or you can send them in with a note the next day. The other side of all this, early dismissals. If your child needs to leave early for any reason, a doctor's appointment, another type of appointment, again, you can send them in with a physical note. That note should be dropped off at that attendance window in the morning. So right as your child is coming in off the bus, they can go to the attendance window, drop off their early dismissal note, and they will get a pass back from attendance, allowing them to leave class early at whatever time you have written. You can also email the the MS Attend email about early dismissals. However, that email really needs to be sent the day before. Any email sent after 8 a.m. for same day might not get picked up before the dismissal. That's why we ask for a physical note the morning of or an email at least the day before. And I know it takes like 4 months to get into doctor's offices these days, so if you know something's coming up, just send that email. Bus passes. Just like last year, students are assigned a bus to ride to and from school. We do not have bus passes to visit friends this year, so you're only allowed to take the bus you have been assigned to. You're not able to get a bus pass for a friend's bus any longer. Lunch. Okay, this is brand new as about 20 minutes ago. Lunch is not free anymore. Lunch was free due to a federal program that no longer exists. So students now need to pay for lunch and breakfast. If you want to apply for free or reduced price lunch, we strongly encourage you to do that if you qualify. And if you're not sure if you qualify, apply anyway, and we'll tell you. Applications can be picked up in our front lobby in English and in Spanish if you want to apply on paper, or if you want to apply online, you can apply through the Titan Parent Portal, which is the lunch portal we use. So this means that if your child is planning on buying lunch, and like Ms. Dudgeon said, our food is really good, we eat it too. The kale salad, I love. And the soups in the winter, they're really good too. So we eat the lunch here also. You're going to need to put money into your child's lunch account so they can pay for lunch. And you can put money in through that Titan Parent Portal also. So you can apply online or on paper. The paper applications are right in the front lobby, or you can apply online. Breakfast and lunch menus are posted on the district website monthly, so you know what's going on. And if you forget, kids, to eat breakfast in the morning at home because your parent has been nagging you, but you just got up 10 minutes before the bus was going to come, we have breakfast in our cafeteria also. So you can pick up a bagel, a piece of fruit, some milk, cereal, sometimes a yogurt parfait. You can pick up breakfast in our cafeteria until about 8:12. Advisory starts at 8:15. I talked about grades briefly before. There's some important academic information that is different from elementary school and into middle school. Because we have numeric grades, we have a GPA. And your grade point average, your GPA, is calculated based on all the classes that receive a numerical grade. So if you have a class that is pass-fail, or if you have flex that doesn't get a grade, advisory doesn't get a grade, those do not go into your grade point average. Classes that are every other day count less than classes that are full days. So it's not as simple as just adding up every number and dividing by how many there are. They're weighted differently by how many days a week you have that class. If you are confused, it is in our student handbook on how to calculate it, or just give a guidance counselor or administrator a call and we can walk you through it. Honor roll. Honor roll is determined by your GPA. We do honor rolls 4 times a year at the end of each quarter. To get on the high honor roll, you have to have a GPA of 89.5 and above. To get on the regular honor roll, it's 84.5 to 89.4. It will print directly at the bottom of your report card what your GPA is and which honor roll you've attained. We also, about 2 weeks after the end of the quarter, will send out letters that say, congratulations, you're on the honor roll. Come pick up a bumper sticker. You get 1 bumper sticker a year. You can get 1 each year. They're the same bumper sticker no matter which honor roll you're on. They're very valuable things. Accelerated courses. Our math program begins in 7th grade. Our science program begins in 8th grade. And when we look at the students that we accept into our accelerated programs, we're looking at what your math average was in 6th grade and what your science average was in 7th grade. So So be aware of that as the school year goes on. If you're having trouble and you think you want to be in those accelerated classes, ask your teacher for help. The benefit of being in an accelerated math class is taking algebra, which is a 9th grade math class, normally a 9th grade math class, taking it in 8th grade, which would allow you to take calculus in high school. I know, she's talking about calculus, and I'm only going into 6th grade. You gotta make plans for the future. Taking science, Regents biology in 8th grade would allow you to take an AP science class at the end of high school also. So it's planning for the future in 6th grade. And our National Junior Honor Society, our great kids that are sitting in the back, and some of them have already positioned out in the hallways. In 7th grade, if your GPA is at a high enough point, then we'll invite you to apply. That's an invitation. You still have to fill out the invitation and show community service and leadership skills. A committee will examine all the invitations and then invite a group of students into the National Junior Honor Society. When you get closer to that in 7th grade, all the criteria will be shared with you in advance of those applications going out. And now, Mr. Sullivan.
Welcome, 6th graders. My name is Mr. Sullivan. I am the assistant principal for the 7th grade, but what I want to say is I look forward to meeting all of you. And I say this every year. I know guidance has heard this every year. In the past couple of years, it's been the same old story. That on Mondays, you'll see me, and I'll look a little down. It has nothing to do with being on Mondays. It has to do with the fact that I'm a New York Jet fan. And on Sundays, they do very well. So if you see me on Monday, please say everything's going to be okay, but this year's going to be a little different. So with that, I'm going to turn to the health office, just some key points. First and foremost, you're required to have a TDAP. I've been saying that all morning and I finally got it incorrect. Before your 11th birthday, please send the records to the health office. Secondly, if your child needs daily medication, please make sure that you have the doctor's prescription and the medications to the health office, because then they will provide the medication at what time during the day. Students can carry their inhalers or their EpiPens. My son is in 7th grade, he has a peanut allergy, he carries his EpiPen throughout school. If for some reason you're unable to play in phys ed or engage in phys ed, please make sure you have a doctor's note to the health office as well for the purpose behind it. My turn for this number. Okay, so scoliosis. There are scoliosis screenings that New York State requires in 5th and 7th grade. Please make sure that you send the health office the results of those screenings. We also, it's very important that we have updated emergency contacts on our student management system. So please make sure we have somebody who we can get in touch with who's a relative, neighbor, friend, in case we're unable to get in touch with you if ever there's an emergency. And last but not least, for the health office, if your child's experiencing any symptoms of illness, please keep them home. And, I'm not going to say the word, but you know where we have been for the past couple of years, so please make sure that if they're not feeling well, you keep them home and it'll be okay. We'll get all the work for them. The nurses will be in the office, and I know you're all looking forward to touring the building, so please make sure that you stop in. If you have any questions, in addition to what I just shared, they'll provide you with updated answers or more in-depth answers. Now here comes the fun part. You're in middle school. There's a number of different options that are provided to you now that you're here in middle school. Get involved. This is the time for you to find your niche, whatever it may be. If it's a club, if it's intramurals, if it's sports. And I get asked every year by 6th graders, when can we play modified sports? My 6th grader last year asked me the same question. New York State does not allow 6th graders to engage in modified sports. It's for 7th and 8th graders. But that's all right, because we have intramurals for 6th graders that they can participate in prior to school. Basketball, volleyball, all different types of intramurals, which those who are in charge of will engage in students in the mornings. Next year, students would be able to engage in modified sports. We have a number of options in clubs. Please check the website. I can tell you every year, coming to see our drama club, they do a fantastic performance. If you're interested in drama club, get involved in drama club. If you're interested in Odyssey of the Mind, we've had Odyssey of the Mind teams, go to states, go to nationals,
Go to World.
go to worlds. Please get involved. And there are a number of other clubs for you to get involved in. If you're interested in the club, come see one of us and let us know. If it's not on the list and you're interested in starting a club, come have that conversations with us as well. At this time, what I'd like to do is invite the PTA up to share with you some of the upcoming events that we may have for you and other information that they have.
Hello everyone, my name is Angie Lavagat and I am the president of this year's 2022 and 2023 PTA here at the middle school. On behalf of myself and my board, we welcome you. My son is entering 6th grade and I'm really excited for his journey. There's tremendous support here that we have received, and I want to say to all the parents of all grades, I know that we are in great hands with Mr. Berger and his team. I experienced that on my first day here. Also on the board, we do have some board members here on site. They're actually outside. We can meet them later if you like. We have Vice President Stephanie Patzner, Corresponding Secretary Jill Forestieri, Recording Secretary Melissa McHugh, and the Treasurer Stacy White. These are all wonderful women whose names you probably know. They've been on the board before. I am totally brand new to the PTA, to the school, and so they have been very also helpful and supportive on this new journey that I've encountered. We on the PTA are so excited for this year because thank goodness, and hopefully, COVID is behind us. Severe COVID is behind us, allowing this school year to be the most normal since the fall of 2019. Our role on the PTA is to work with you, the staff, and most importantly, for your kids to provide a memorable and exciting school year. We conduct meetings throughout the year, which are also open to the public. The PTA contributes funds and our time to volunteering on various events. These events include, but are not limited to, rec nights, the 8th grade celebrations. This includes the 8th grade party, Red Ribbon Week, and Go Gold, Go Blue Weeks. We certainly cannot forget celebrating our teachers and staff during teacher, nurse, school safety, and administration appreciation weeks. Upon joining the PTA, you will receive weekly emails on the latest news and events at the Monroe-Woodbury Middle School. We also post on our social media, Facebook page, so be sure to like our page. We hope you will join us today by signing up for our membership for the year. It is $10 a year or $1 a month for each month of the school. Your $1 spent goes back to all the events that I mentioned above and much more. Please consider joining us today. Again, we do have spirit wear that we are selling on site here. You can buy that throughout the school year. But we do encourage you to join. I am here volunteering my services to work together with all of the parents and with the administration to make this a fun year for the students. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Yes, definitely. Please make sure you get involved with the PTA and sign up to join. 2 years ago, I would not have been able to do that. Mrs. Collins, that's why she walks over every single time, because I would have probably deleted the entire slideshow like I almost did the other day. So, helpful tips. We touched on some of this already, but here's some key points for you to remember. That bus slot number, which Mrs. Collins mentioned earlier, do not forget that bus slot number. That bus slot number is going to be where you go to at the end of the day. Again, it's going to be on the ground. If for whatever reason you do forget that bus stop number, or that bus slot number, excuse me, we will have information for you. You can come see one of us at dismissal, and we will guide you in the right direction. Lockers. I'm going to touch on the locker. The key point with your locker is remember the letter before your locker, because you could have multiple locker 202s. If your locker is E202, you need to go to E202, not D202. Key point. You'll get used to that. I know that sounds like a lot, but before you know it, you're going to know this building like it's the back of your hand. You're going to know it better than me. Promise you that. You will know this building better than the rest of us. So, Chromebook, make sure you have your Chromebook charged each day. Go home, charge your Chromebook. Would be the first thing I do when I get home, when I'm done with doing whatever homework I may have, is charge my Chromebook. Stay organized. I'm going to pause on that one because I need to read this one myself. Stay organized. Use your planner and keep track of your due dates. You will have due dates this year. You will receive a planner. You'll have a planner also on your Google Classroom. But I would write it in both spots. You have it in Google Classroom, but don't fall back to that. Use your planner and write it down. The more you get into that habit, the better off you're going to be. We mentioned your school counselors. I cannot speak highly enough of each person in that guidance suite. Make sure you make those connections with your counselors. Make sure you make connections with some adult in this building, whether it be counselor, safety officer, teacher, coach. One of us, as I said, you can come up, like I said on Mondays, you can come up and say to me, hey, Mr. Sullivan, yeah, the jets stink. And it's all good. Okay? Please, don't hesitate to say hello. Parents, make sure that you check those daily announcements. They'll be on the Monroe-Woodbury Middle School website. It's a great way to get involved. It's a great way for you to know what's taking place here in the building. And I'm going to reiterate, please get involved and join the PTA because they do a significant amount for your children while they're here throughout the years that they're here at the middle school. I'm going to turn this back over to Mr. Berger, and then you'll be on your way to touring the building.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. Behind me, you will see some important dates that are upcoming. Feel free to take a picture of this. This entire presentation will be posted on the middle school webpage coming up in the next couple of days, so you'll be able to refer back to it. But again, feel free to take a picture now. I just kind of want to close by reiterating the focus of our administrative team this year, which is really to focus on two things. We're focusing on creating and ensuring that we have a respectful environment and community within the middle school, and also that this is a safe place. Because when you combine the two of them, that equals success for your kids. So with that, we have already started to have, we have ongoing conversations all the time with local police, state troopers, the FBI, a lot of different law enforcement agencies, so that we can get advice and suggestions from them on what we can do to make sure that we are providing a safe environment here for our kids and our staff members in our community. So we take those suggestions and we do what's practical here for the middle school. With that, we've already started the process of updating a lot of our safety and security features here at the building. We'll be able to update that in more detail as those ongoing projects are completed. So that's something that we're currently working on behind the scenes, and I'm excited to be able to share those with you in the upcoming weeks and months. We also do little things like that we described today, everybody comes in one main entrance, eliminating a lot of external doors that are open, and closed throughout the day. So little things like that we are changing. The no backpack policy, I know that may not be a popular one, and I've gotten some emails. The purpose behind that is, again, for safety features. We tried to make this a safe environment for kids in the past, and really the history, as was described to me at the middle school, is backpacks were not always allowed to carry things back and forth to their classrooms. Students always used their lockers. That changed with COVID the last couple of years. But the primary purpose behind not allowing backpacks is so that we can maintain safety for our kids. Oftentimes, we have 1,700 kids in the school. It's very congested in the hallways. Kids bumping into one another, getting hurt with their backpacks. They would go into the classroom, the backpacks are on the floor, it's difficult to navigate through the classroom, and we take these, again, suggestions and we try to do what's right. With that, we also know that there are times where you're going to need to carry something with you, and we understand that. So if you need to carry a small bag for personal hygiene items, or if you are approved to carry an EpiPen, obviously you're going to need to carry that with you throughout the day. For medical reasons and things like that, you can contact me, you can contact one of the administrators if you're questioning what you can and cannot carry, but we will allow for a small like bag to carry those types of items, for your children. It's the big bulky backpacks that we're trying to avoid, and again, that came at the recommendation of providing safer hallways for our students when passing, going back and forth to classrooms. So we're going to try to go back to that and see how it works, and we can always make changes in the future, but I just wanted to kind of reiterate that our primary focus is making sure that we have a safe environment for our kids. We are very much looking forward to working with you together this year and in partnership to provide a great experience for our kids. And with that, we will be down here if you have individual questions, or you can contact us afterwards. If you'd like to stop in the nurse's office after touring, if you have individual medical questions for the nurses, please feel free to do that. And we have our NJHS students out there ready to tour you around the building. So have fun in the hallways, and if you have any questions, we'll be around. Good luck, and we can't wait to see you soon.